here we go. So, like I said, all questions about reading, things like that, you just tell me what you think about it, okay? So the first question says, when you are reading and come to something you don't know, what do you do? So if you're reading a book and you don't know one of the words, what things do you do?
Sometimes I skip it and sometimes I sound it out.
Sometimes you sound out. So what happens when you skip it? You just skip over the word and keep on going? Okay, and then sometimes you say you sound it out. How does that help you a lot when you sound it out? Yeah? Okay. Do you think you're a good reader? You think you're a good reader? Who's a good reader that you know?
You.
You think I'm a good reader? So what do you think makes a good reader then?
You don't read very loud, so you don't distract other people.
Okay. What else do you think about a good reader? When you see someone, you're like, they're a really good reader. Like, they could read a lot.
They read to younger children that don't know how to read.
Okay, so they could read to younger children. Do you think they could read, like, really long books? Yeah? So, like, harder books, maybe? Yes? Okay. So, you said you think I'm a good reader. Do you think I ever come to something that I might not know when I'm reading? Yes, you do? Yeah? So what do you think happens when I don't know what to do?
You sound it out.
You think I might sound it out? What else do you think I could do?
Ask a friend.
I could ask a friend, or like maybe I could look it up too, right? Have you ever used a dictionary before? If you don't know the word.
We made a poster about reading and it said, try, ask a friend, and then try again, and then ask for help.
So do you do that sometimes too when you read? Very cool. So you ask other friends, and do you see other friends use different methods? What other methods do you see them use?
What does that mean?
Methods? So like how you said you sound out words. Sometimes that's a method. So it's something that you do to help solve something. So like my method might be to read other words around it and then say, okay, when I read this, I think that's what this word might mean. So you do that sometimes where you ask other people for help? So if you knew someone was having trouble reading, how would you help that person?
Ask them, do they need help?
Okay, so you ask them. So let's say they do. Then what would you do to help them?
I was trying to speak the word out for them.
Okay, speak the word out. What do you mean by speak the word out?
I could try to say it.
Okay. So what if they knew how to say it, but they didn't know what it means?
William from yesterday, but remind me, I don't want to forget because I got to call Mom. So what did you do yesterday?
What other things could you do?
Ask the teacher.
Ask the teacher. Okay. So what do you think a teacher would do to help that person then?
They will sit with me and I can read with them.
Okay, so they could sit with you and they could read with you and kind of explain it a little bit more. Yeah? Okay, so how did you learn to read? Because you said you think you're a good reader, right?
I learned how to read by my mom.
Your mom helped you read a lot? How'd she help you
And my
read?
dad.
And your dad. How'd they help you read?
If I don't know a word, they will just say it for me and then I can keep on going.
So you kind of learn them as you go and as you read. Okay. What would you like to do better as a reader? What do you think you could improve on?
Read it in my head.
Reading in your head, so you read out loud sometimes? Yeah?
Only at my house.
Only at your house, not when you're in the classroom? Why do you read out loud?
Because it's much better than reading in your head. Because if you read in your head, you get distracted by other people.
Okay, so if you're reading out loud, you focus a little bit more? Okay. And you said you think you're a good reader, right? Why do you think you're a good reader?
Because they help other people with words.
Do you understand what you're reading?
I understand what I'm reading if I'm reading on a computer, easy book. and my mom asks me, and sometimes I go on the app of RathKid,
Uh-huh.
and I read a book, and then after that, sometimes it has a quiz for me to do.
Okay, so it kind of checks to see if you understood what the story was about.
And then at the end, you have 5 or 10 questions that you have to answer about the book.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't get it right, then they will put X's on the numbers that you didn't get right.
Okay. How does it make you feel when you see the X's? What do you want to do when you see the X's?
Sometimes I go back and look at it again.
That's good, so you can understand it a little bit better. That's a strategy to better understand, right? You see if you don't get something right and you go back and look at it. That's awesome. Okay, so that's the end of the interview. That's just the questions I'd ask. Just little questions about reading. It wasn't so bad, right? No, it wasn't so bad. Okay.